Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is, another Wednesday, and we have for your topic today reasons why Goddess might intervene here on Earth. What are the reasons why Goddess might intervene? And what are the reasons why she might not intervene? Well, Goddess has a very specific set of rules that she follows when it comes to intervening here on Earth. And she follows them all of the time. So you can expect that if Goddess doesn't intervene here on Earth, that there must be a very good reason for it. And Goddess intervenes all the time. All the time she's intervening on our behalf and doing good things on our behalf. But we don't know it. We don't know that she's intervening on our behalf and that she's watching out for us and looking after us. But she is. She's always watching out for us and looking after us, and we don't know it. We don't know. Sometimes something seems bad at the time, and it turns out it's all for the good because she intervenes on our behalf for the better. She cuts in and intercedes when necessary. And what are the times when Goddess will intervene on our behalf? Well, first of all, we have to ask her. She won't intervene on our behalf if we don't ask her, although she will intervene on our behalf without us asking if she feels that she can do so following her laws. But she usually doesn't intervene unless we ask her. So we have to ask her. We have to pray to Goddess and ask her to intervene on our behalf. And she often will intervene on our behalf without us asking if she feels it's necessary and all to the good. We might not see it that way at the time, but later on we'll see that it was all for the good, that it was for the better, that she intervened in our case. So what are the times when Goddess will not intervene on our behalf? Well, only if it doesn't interfere with free will. So if you ask for something that interferes with the free will of another person, Goddess will say no because she doesn't interfere with the free will of others. So, for example, if you ask Goddess to make someone be nicer to you, it's not going to happen because Goddess can't interfere with the free will of another human being. She won't intervene on your behalf if it interferes with the free will of another. You can keep wishing that person would treat you nicer. You can try to get that person to treat you nicer, but Goddess isn't going to force that person to treat you nicer because that interferes with free will, and she won't do that. So what are some other reasons why she wouldn't interfere on your behalf? Well, she doesn't interfere with karma or life lessons. This is a big point here, that she doesn't interfere with karma or life lessons, because suppose you wanted to have an easy life and be free of all troubles and just have a free and clear shot at it, and free and clear easy life. Well, the goddess isn't going to give you that because it might interfere with your karma or your life lessons. And she's not going to answer a prayer like that to have an easy life or a free shot at everything, because she wants you to learn your life lessons. She wants you to learn. And the only way you're going to learn is if you fulfill your karma. And if you refuse to fulfill your karma, karma will come upon you anyway. It's one of those situations where it's something that is against your free will that you don't want, but it comes anyway because goddess sees that it's your karma, and your karma, you can't refuse your karma. You can't say no to karma. You can't refuse it. Why? If it's against your free will choice, do you still get karma? It's because you did something in another life, in another time and place, that created karma. And because you did that, the same thing comes back to you. So you can't say no to something that you've done yourself. You brought it upon yourself by doing something in another lifetime that created karma. So you can't say no, you can't refuse if in that case. So if there's karma, if there's life lessons to be learned, then goddess isn't going to intervene on your behalf. Even if you ask for an easy life, she's not going to intervene, because you have to fulfill your karmic obligations. You just have to, no matter what you want or no matter what you might say, you have to fulfill your karma. Now, as for life lessons, sometimes we come to life to learn certain things, and we have different goals, life goals, and life lessons to be learned. And we make these before we're born, so we don't remember them. So we have life lessons to be learned that we don't remember, and certain life goals that we've set for ourselves that we don't remember. Goddess sticks to those strictly. And she sticks to your life lessons strictly, and she sticks to your life goals strictly. And if you go outside the bounds of your life lessons, like if you say, well, I don't want to learn that, or I don't want to know that, or refuse your life lessons in some other way, then the goddess is going to force you to learn those lessons anyway, because you made an agreement before you were born that you were going to learn those life lessons and that you were going to meet those life goals. And she'll force you to meet those life goals, even if you don't want to, because you agreed to before you were born. It's an agreement, a pact, so to speak. So life lessons work in a very similar way to karma. Things might happen to you that you don't want to have happen, but they're all to the good, because they're for you to learn your life lessons and fulfill your goals for your life goals. For example, you might encounter an unpleasant person, and that unpleasant person might say or do unpleasant things that really upset you. But it might be a part of your life lesson or your goals for yourself, for your life, to learn that lesson. And the only way you're going to learn that lesson is if you tough it out and put up with whatever it is that it has you fed up, that you don't like. So life goals, life lessons, and karma are some of the reasons why goddess might not intervene on your behalf, even if you ask. So if you ask, goddess will usually intervene on your behalf unless it interferes with life goals, life lessons, karma, or interferes with the free will of another person. Now, here's another thing that's important, is that sometimes we ask for easy things. Sometimes we ask for things that we could do ourselves, and we're not doing them because we're lazy. So we ask Goddess for something like, for example, we might ask for a sports car or a new TV set. And we could go and do the work ourselves to earn that thing without asking for it. But we ask anyway just because we want it and we're lazy. Well, Goddess doesn't approve of that. Goddess wants us to do it on our own so we will grow as people. When we go out and do things on our own, we grow and we become better persons. We become better people by doing things on our own. We grow spiritually and mentally and emotionally and grow in other ways. So the Goddess wants us to do it on our own. So sometimes when we ask for things, the Goddess won't give them to us automatically because she knows we could do it on our own and that we have the capability of doing it on our own, and that we don't need her help. Now, sometimes she'll grant us our wish anyway, just to teach us a lesson. Sometimes when we ask for things, the Goddess will give them to us just to teach us a lesson. And for example, suppose you moved to a new place and hated it. Suppose you moved somewhere and you hated it and you were crying each night because you hate it so much and you want out. You want out of that place. Well, then you pray for help to Goddess. You pray, please get me out of this place. And Goddess grants your wish. That happened to me one time. I was so miserable at a certain place. I prayed for help, and Goddess granted me a pair of airline tickets. And I could have flown out at any time then, but I got a new job at that place, and I learned to do for myself. I earned enough money with my new job that I could have paid for my own airline tickets. And I realized that I could have left at any time and Goddess would have granted it. But I could have done it myself. But Goddess answered my prayer to show me that she was there and that she was listening. And I learned my lesson from that I didn't need to ask for something, but Goddess gave it to me anyway because I asked. Just because I asked, she granted my request, just to teach me a lesson. Now I realize now that I could have done it on my own, but I didn't think I could do it on my own. So she taught me a very important lesson by granting my request, and that was that I could have done it on my own, but I didn't, but I could have. So I learned my lesson, and it's all to the good. It's all better because Goddess granted my request. She answered my prayer to teach me my life lesson. So that's it. That's the reasons why Goddess might not intervene on your behalf, and when she will intervene on your behalf if you ask her. And sometimes she intervenes on your behalf even when you don't know it, that she's working behind the scenes for your greater good, for the better for you. And you don't know it, but she's always there. She's always there taking care of you and nurturing you and doing things for you when you don't realize it. So that's it. And have a great week, everybody. And I'll see you next time.